this all sounds like negative and you're getting kind of annoyed that we're being like negative Nancy's and pessimistic, look, sorry, but we're not going to just get on the internet and tell lies like Infinity Ward. If the update isn't good, we're not going to just lie to you. We're not trying to anyone off to get a COD Next invite. It's never going to happen. And if it did, it would be a security risk for Activision Incorporated.
For ad-free episodes, as well as early access and bonus episodes, check out our Patreon.
Activision devs do not play their own game.
3,000 devs can't figure out how to add a reconnect feature to a AAA title, I guess. I don't know.
Because Infinity Ward doesn't tell their consumers anything.
Maybe that'll take some of the sweats away from Shoot House.
You can cope about that, for sure.
Thanks for tweeting, at least. Thanks for doing more than Infinity Ward has done. They just keep tweeting about the soccer bundles in the store.
Things that are bad. We got a couple words. Why don't you kick it off, Tanner?
This is going to be a longer section than the first part you guys heard.
Change it, obviously, of course. We are live, boys and girls. Welcome to the Dropshot Call of Duty Podcast, episode number 354. My name is Casey, also known as Razinon. Today, I'm joined by young Tanner on this fine afternoon on the precipice of gaming being saved, which we will not get into, really, today. Why is gaming going to be saved? Of course, Starfield is releasing today in 4.5 hours or something like that. And then gaming will be saved. Because guess what didn't save gaming? Spoiler alert, and we'll get into it. Season 5 Reloaded. So
when you think about it, this was a huge W for gaming this whole week. Season 5 Reloaded yesterday, Starfield today. Could it get any better? It can't.
Yeah, those are super on par.
They
for
saved
sure.
both of those.
I don't know what I was more excited for. Modern Warfare 2 Season 5 Reloaded, where we didn't even get the Resurgence map, or Starfield, a new Bethesda RPG for the first time in 15 years. Yeah, they were very close in terms of my excitement. So, yeah, great point there. So, anyways, we're, of course, being facetious because fuck Call of Duty, and we'll get into that. And welcome to the show. So today, we do have an amount to talk about. We got, quote unquote, we have quote unquote patch notes to go over from Infinity Ward, Season 5 Reloaded patch notes. We got Season 5 Reloaded. Keep in mind, they call the blog post patch notes. They're not actually patch notes. Infinity Ward doesn't do patch notes. They don't do testing, and they don't do game development. So we'll get into all of that as well. But before that, we have a few announcements, and there's some other things too. Some other little things. I think we have a couple. Nothing on MW3 this week, actually.
No.
No new news on that,
really.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, no.
Which is a damn shame, but that's okay. But yeah, before that, a couple announcements real quick. Welcome to our new gold patrons, Cody S., Jason, it's spelt tires, so British and change it, and Alex. Welcome, boys. Our new gold patrons, a great time to join. We'll get into that in a second. Patreon.com/thedropshot. Very much appreciate all of you. And we thank you for your patronage. More importantly, welcome to our new Damascus new asterisk Damascus patrons, Adam M, aka Lavoxino, the Discord member formerly known as L2K Greatness.
Yeah, L2K, which was a better name.
On his 8th Patreon account, has become a Damascus patron, came to the hangout. That was fun and exciting. Welcome back, L. And Gibby with the upgrade as well to Damascus. We very much appreciate that, boys, and thank you very much. More importantly than you guys, and better people than you, in our last episode, we did a live expansion of our Obsidian tier Patreon memberships. So previously there were only 5 slots for Obsidian patrons. Now there are 10 slots. Now there are actually 8 slots. Now there are, I can't do math, 3 slots for Obsidian patrons. Yeah. There are 3 remaining slots. There used to be 0 remaining slots for a long time. Now, what do you get for being an Obsidian patron beyond a Damascus patron? A lot. Patreon.com/thedropshot. You can see all the details, but it's a very exclusive, obviously, Patreon tier. And that's why it's restricted to a maximum of 10 members. Among many benefits, you get access to the Obsidian Skybox in Discord. And if you thought the Damascus Lounge was swanky and an upgrade from the Patron Alley, then boy, wait until you step into the Obsidian Skybox, dude. Because that's where you're cooking with gas. That's where you're shucking and jiving. Yeah. There's a lot of business, Borpa business. It's great. Yeah. It's very luxurious there. And we have 2 new members joining us in the Skybox, the very exclusive Skybox. Upgrading from Damascus to Obsidian. Patios. Patios going from Damascus to Obsidian. And renowned question asker, who sometimes asks good questions, Steel Switch. Our new Obsidian patrons. Boys, thank you very much. Plus get scammed. Plus we appreciate it. Plus thanks.
Yeah.
Very kind of you, gentlemen. Kings. Very gracious and generous. Kings, royalty, Skybox enjoyers. Just fantastic. Patios, and Steel Switch. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Yeah. And you guys may be wondering, what's different with this tier?
A lot.
The Skybox, that's it. Nothing's different. Nothing's different. They just like us more than everyone else does. So you guys don't like us. I like the path Steel Switch has taken, by the way. He started as a white name, didn't talk. Then he went gold, didn't talk ever. He was gold for like a year, it feels like. Then he went Damascus, talked a little bit, still talks a little bit. He talks quite a bit now, and now he's Obsidian. He's taken the Dropshot path, if you ask me.
Yeah.
He probably hated us at one point. He probably still does, actually, but he probably hated us more at one point.
Yeah, he probably fucking hate watched us for a solid 3 months at first. Yeah, that's the classic Dropshot listener pipeline there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the classic pipeline. And that's why we're making YouTube shorts. So anyway, yeah, thank you, boys. Very much not necessary and appreciated. And we thank you very much. And we hope you're enjoying the Skybox. I'm glad to see you guys are getting some utility out of it. We also got a little donation, little offline dono from Cody Blue Carp. Change it. Actually, it's from Cody Blue Carp. Change it. And he asks, hey, Raz, what kind of FPS you pushing on the new gaming console? Which is, of course, my fucking supercomputer, right? Best wishes and go fuck yourselves with the $20 real United States dollars donation. Thank you very much, Cody. Really appreciate that. Not necessary, but very generous and appreciated. I don't know exactly what I'm getting in... I haven't played Big Map BR on it yet. And I've only played a little bit of Resurgence because I was having internet issues at the time. Those are now fixed. But I did play some DMZ. I'll get into that in a second. And I was getting on Vondel DMZ, I want to say 200 to 220 FPS pretty consistently, which is a significant upgrade from what I was getting before, which probably would have been like 120 actually. But I got a lot of better components now. I used to be CPU bottlenecked, and now I'm GPU bottlenecked with a 3090. So that's a big difference. Yeah. So anyway, thank you for the $20, dude. Very much appreciate that. Don't forget, you guys can donate. Go to thedropshot.com. You can find links to everything, including the donate button. It's an important button. It should be in your bookmarks. Keep that in mind. And thank you, Cody. Now, speaking of the Patreon, as I said, it's a good time to join the Patreon. Our last 2 Patreon bonus episodes for the month are now live. We've done 2 since we last did a public episode. The first of which this week was an episode on the state of Warzone. and we kind of just meandered, talked about the state of Warzone right now, why it is the way it is, whether it's good or bad, what we can kind of expect going forward. We kind of tied it in a little bit to what we can expect from Warzone 2 and the MW3 integration. It was just kind of an accounting of where we're at right now in terms of Warzone generally. We talked, I would say, mostly about ranked, but we also talked about Resurgence as well. And it was a pretty solid little episode. And then today, what just went live, we had planned on doing our last bonus episode on Fortress, the new Resurgence map. But that's not in the game. We'll get into that too. So instead, we played some DMZ and then did an episode on that. And
we did,
you can guess how that went. Sure.
Yeah, I expected better than how it went for sure. Yeah, it's yeah. Did I say some mean things to DMZ players? Yeah. Do I regret saying those things? No. Yeah, it's the way it is. I don't understand it. If you have fun playing it, great. If you have fun playing anything in COD, that's always a good thing. But I don't understand it at all. Yeah,
I'm envious. I'm envious.
I can't figure out the draw. Yeah, I don't know. It's not a mode for me. I'll say that.
Yeah, that was kind of the thrust of the DMZ episode. So we gave it one more college try, played for about 90 minutes. We saw all of the advancements they've made since we last played DMZ, which are substantial and numerous. But the thesis of the episode was basically that the core gameplay loop ain't there, so it doesn't really matter. But we go into a lot more detail. We talk a lot more about that. So if either of those things interest you, Warzone or DMZ, and you're a patron, those episodes are now live. And if that sounds interesting and you're not a patron, patreon.com/thedropshot, those 2 episodes, as well as another one, are available to all of our patrons. So you can join at gold. You'll get those 2, plus the other one we did for gold this month, and the entire back catalog as well. So we're up to like 150, or how many? I don't know, 150 plus, something. I think.
Well,
and that's what I said.
120 something regular episodes if you're gold. A lot more if you're Damascus or Platinum.
Yeah, correct. Yeah,
Damascus,
that changes it too.
150, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, if you want to support the show, get away from the ads, etc. Those are now live, and those were solid little eps. I really enjoyed the State of Warzone episode, and the DMZ episode. It was a long time coming for us to do that. So,
and the final time.
And the final time, which we got into. Yeah.
Yeah. There's the. Yeah. I will never click on the button again. Yeah.
That's correct. So, anyways, other than that, do we have any other announcements, little bud?
No.
All right. If you're listening for the jingle, here it is.
Starfield. I'll write it down. Probably doesn't matter. I doubt this is going in clips.
We might want to just use it anyway.
Yeah, otherwise we're going like a week without him. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Well, I think we have like an hour left of clips for the month. So if they don't roll over, which I don't think they do, maybe we might as well. I don't care. Whatever.
Yeah, we'll look.
I'm never. Yeah, this is our last episode of the podcast ever, by the way. So, and that's a joke. Relax. Gaming will be saved in about 4 hours, though. Hashtag Starfield. All right, welcome to the show. Today, we have a new blog post from Infinity Ward, as well as an update to MW2 and Warzone 2. And the title of the blog post is Season 5 Reloaded Patch Notes. So we're going to go over this briskly and swiftly, because they're not real patch notes. And let me remind you, Infinity Ward has not written patch notes in a decade. They say they write patch notes, but they're just blog posts with a smattering of half-truths, obfuscations, omissions, and lies. That's what Infinity Ward does. They don't do actual patch notes. Raven did patch notes. Infinity Ward does not.
Raven's
so we're going to go over this
notes,
blog post where they lie to us and say that these are actual patch notes. They're not. Don't forget that, because this is not a good company. But we're going to go over the blog post nonetheless. So this was released yesterday, as well as Season 5 Reloaded.
By the way, make sure to refresh this page at some point, because they did another little, quote, bug fix. So there's a new update that we'll have to hit after.
Oh,
they just posted
yeah, okay,
today.
I just refreshed it, yeah. Okay, yeah, so I just refreshed it. We'll just do this now. Real quickly, before we get into the patch notes for Season 5 Reloaded, there was a hot fix today, like right now at the time of recording this. I clicked the link 2 seconds ago and this wasn't here, and then I refreshed and it was. So it says bug fixes. I'm going to pick one at random so you guys can see. I'm closing my eyes, I'm moving my mouse, and I stopped it. Where is my mouse? Okay. Fix an issue where selecting the filter option in the recent squad/team menu produces a missing asset error. I don't know what that means. Got it. Thanks, Infinity Ward.
Yeah.
Love that bug fix. That's crucial and super awesome and necessary, and the bug fixes we need. So I'm not reading the other ones. I don't care. There are 3 for Warzone.
You listening, you've never experienced any of the bugs, of these bugs.
Yeah, to be clear, if any of them were relevant, I would be happily inform you guys. But our job when we do this podcast, part of our job, is to inform you about things that happened in Call of Duty that are relevant to you. None of the bug fixes Infinity Ward has ever fixed have ever been relevant to you. That's why we don't read them. It's not that we just don't care about bugs being fixed. We absolutely do if they're important ones. But they've never done an important bug fix yet.
Yeah.
They haven't done that. So that's why we just don't cover them. I pick one at random, and if that random bug fix is relevant, then I will deign to read the rest of them.
Yeah.
But guess how many times that's happened since I've started doing this? 0, by the way.
0.
Oops. Spoiler
this is a
alert.
funny one for Warzone. Fix an exploit that allowed boats to fly in Warzone.
I did not see that one, but
That sounds pretty fun.
yeah, cool. That sounds fun. I would rather see that than play Warzone without that exploit. That's where we're at. So
yeah. And I'd say this right away. We had the Season Reloaded update, which included, quote, bug fixes. We just had this hot fix. Nowhere in here do they mention or supposedly fix the issue in ranked right now, where if you alt F4 as soon as you get squad wiped, you don't lose SR. That's still not a bug. And you also, you just don't get penalties for it, nothing. So, take advantage of that, I guess. I think that's how it works. I think you literally just, as soon as you die, alt F4 and then restart the game and no SR
yeah,
loss.
Look into it and exploit it. Make ranked as much of a joke as it kind of already is, and the whole game is. Yeah. So anyway, now on to the bulk of this, which was yesterday, Season 5 Reloaded blog post. So Battle Pass, not reading. Operators, not reading.
You're skipping half the blog post there, then.
Okay, you can pick whatever is relevant, I guess, if you want. But yeah, this is a short little blog post then. Oh yeah, what am I thinking? Update. I thought Season 5 Reloaded was an update. Yeah, that's correct. It's not an update.
This
they didn't do anything.
This is a weekly update in the Caldera era. This is what we got.
Yeah.
This is what we got every single week.
Yeah. So, okay, yeah, I guess you're right. So in the Battle Pass section, there are 3 new weapons, is what they say. There are actually 2 new weapons. So one of the sectors, it is sector, I don't know. I can't tell. One of the sectors that you probably have adjacency to is new for Season 5
That was one
Reloaded.
of the hidden ones, I think, that said, coming revealed.
Coming soon or whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. That is now unlocked, and this is how you get the new pistol and the new SMG. So I'll quickly say I've used both. I unlocked and used both of these. The new pistol is a pistol. It's a semi-auto pistol. You can't unlock akimbo for it, so it's not ruining. It's not ruining Warzone yet. It will be at once Akimbo is usable, and then it'll get nerfed into the ground and be complete dog shit and won't be relevant. That's my guess about how that's going to go, because we don't need more pistols in the game, obviously, and so that's cool. And then we also got a new SMG, the MP5 SD. What is that? Well, it's exactly the same as the Lockman sub, except you can only use it in burst fire. And it's miserable dog shit and trash as a result. Who would have thought?
Semi and burst. That's it.
Yep.
So,
and it's not good, and it fills no role. Now, one thing I said in our last Patreon episode, in fact, when we were talking about DMZ, on a tangent, I had said a burst fire SMG is actually a cool idea on paper because it is a unique, different feeling type of weapon, and it could be by a dev studio balanced really well to where maybe in burst fire, since it's only burst fire or semi-auto, then its theoretical TTK could be faster than a full auto SMG, or it could have like way longer damage range or whatever, faster handling or something. But to compensate for that, it's burst fire, so it's necessarily harder to use. In theory, that's a cool idea. I just don't trust Infinity Ward to do it. And of course they didn't. I was correct to not trust them to do it. So what we have now is just a dog shit weapon that isn't fun. It's harder to use and doesn't kill faster in burst fire anyway. So it's completely useless.
It kills fastest in semi-auto. So, and then try to compete with the semi-auto SMG up close against any of the top 5 meta SMGs. It doesn't matter that it kills like 200 milliseconds faster. You're not winning most of those gunfights unless the player you're going up against is really bad. You're not competing. So
correct.
So actually, like you said, we got 2 new guns. I'm not kidding. This is an update that feels like we didn't get any new guns. We got no new guns. We got no new map because the Resurgence map isn't here yet. How is this a mid-season update?
Yeah.
Just is a meaningless update. Season 5 of Warzone 2 is the most meaningless season we've had yet. They don't fix any of the bugs and we don't get any content. This season was an MW3 reveal and that's it.
Yeah.
Which they could have just gave us the trailer outside the game and that would have been fine.
Yeah, this was a super, super dry update. So anyway, yeah, that sector nonetheless is now live. So if you want to unlock those guns, I really don't know if I would ever expect the MP5 SD to become relevant in Warzone. By the way, I used it in multiplayer. It's also not good in multiplayer. It's like really dog shit in multiplayer.
Really?
It's like 2 or 3. It's like 2 bursts to kill someone. But like already that time to kill is dog shit compared to just hip firing a normal MP5 and just effortlessly killing people. I had to get 30 hip fire kills to unlock it, and it was so easy. And then I unlocked this gun and got it max level, and it was still terrible. So it's not good in multiplayer or Warzone. So it serves like no purpose right now.
Yeah.
So anyway, I don't know. I kind of like the idea of a burst fire SMG. Like, for example, in BO4, there was a burst fire SMG called the Damon, funny enough, unrelated to this pistol we got. And it was fucking gross. It was really good. It was really insane. It was also like unique and kind of harder to use than a regular SMG. So the pro of it was that it killed really fast. It was a little overpowered also, let me be clear.
It was.
But it could have been the case that it kills faster than most SMGs, but it's harder to use because of the fact that it's burst fire. It was cool, at least. It was unique and different. So I like the idea of a burst fire SMG on paper. It's just, again, Infinity Ward isn't a dev studio. I used to say that their QA team is a PSYOP. I think their dev team is a PSYOP. I think the dev team is just like the art department B.
Yeah.
There's art department A and B. So there aren't devs at all. There are no devs present. There's just an art team that exists and another art team to create bundles, to fix bundle bugs, and to sell you bundles, and to advertise to you bundles.
They do a good job at that, too.
They do a great job at that, yeah. So there is no dev studio, and I don't trust Infinity Ward's dev studio, which is really an art department, to be able to add a Burstfire SMG and have it be viable, but not overpowered. Don't trust them. So yeah, effectively we got no new weapons, in fact.
Yeah. And then, of course, you know, this studio's un-American. They added a 1911 in. That's what the gun is equivalent to, a 1911, a 1911 handgun, and they chambered in a 9mm because they're communists. Instead of the American 45 caliber, they chambered it in Parabellum. So, you know, it's just un-American. You shouldn't use it for that reason. Disgusting they did that. It's just a shame.
They got very CCP with this update with the communist 9mm pistol and another fun and exciting new feature as well.
Yeah,
they've gotten very CCP.
America, but I guess not.
Yeah, I thought Microsoft was buying Activision, but it turns out Xi Jinping is buying Activision because this is just a Chinese communist state-run propaganda machine that exists to fund the CCP and continue to inflate our debt to the Chinese state as Americans. So cool, great, awesome. But we'll get more into that in a moment. So anyways, and we are super demonetized on YouTube now, by the way. So there's operators, don't care. Events.
There's a new event for a camo. It looks cool. It's the same thing, kills in different types of ways with all the categories. It's another cool looking
and they
camo.
Are cool looking
This
camos.
is the best thing they do every season is do this season limited camo challenge. I haven't done one of them. I haven't cared to.
And they have 2 art departments.
Yeah, true. Because I have Orion, I would never run these, but they look great. If I didn't have Orion, because I sucked at the game like many of you don't have Orion and we do, then I would go for these, but I don't have to because I have Orion. But they're really cool. They do a good job with these.
Yeah. They have so many art members working on the game that they make great camos. So yeah, those are in the game. Vehicle camo challenges are in the game. Oh, that's interesting. Super don't care and not reading them. And the vehicle camos are not as cool. They're pretty dope, I guess. I don't know. They're black and gold. Whatever. I don't care. But if you like run people over with vehicles, Anyways,
they had the Red Rebel from Tarkov. They stole that. It's a melee weapon. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
The communist Daemon. It looks cool. It's a great looking gun.
Well, it's an American gun that they've repurposed to be Chinese.
It's a shame that they've chambered it in a communist run. Yeah, Parabellum.
By the way, nothing wrong with the Chinese people. When I say Chinese, I mean the state of China, the Communist Party of China. That's what I'm saying when I say Chinese, to be clear. Nothing wrong with...
Yeah. And if you are an American citizen and you own a 9mm Parabellum chambered 1911, you should be in prison. It's really just that simple. You should be right next to all the marijuana smokers locked up.
Yeah. There should I am in favor of gun laws, and you shouldn't be allowed. There should be a gun ban immediately. A gun buyback on 9mm 1911s.
True.
That's the only gun ban I support.
Yeah.
RPGs. Fully automatic AR-15s, do it. Go for it.
Jets,
as long as it's chambered in
fighter
5.56 fucking NATO rounds, okay? Like an American, like a patriot.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
No, well, I didn't mean the 1911.
Oh, okay. All right.
Guns in general. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, and the MP5 SD is called the Lockman Shroud, by the way.
Shroud. They just copy everything, man. Oh my God. Shroud, Daemon, Tarkov pickaxe. It's a psyop. They just copy. They go on the internet and they just copy everything they can find.
Yeah. Like their art department did when we exposed them. Anyways, whatever. Now into weapon balancing. So once again, these are not patch notes. This is a blog post that they call patch notes. And I don't know what any of the weapon balancing changes mean, as always, because they don't give us any numbers And they don't explain what close mid damage range means, because I don't know what that means either. And they've never explained it, by the way. So we just have to wait for Sim to get actual numbers for us to evaluate any of the weapon balance changes. I'm going to go over what they say in this
Sim
blog
is already
post
updated,
anyway.
by the way. They did it fast.
Oh, okay,
this time.
good.
I was looking at it.
Yeah. It appears not much has changed. We will quickly take a look at Sim maybe once we're done with this here, but here's what Infinity Ward has said. And some of these things may be lies, to be clear. So F-Tac Siege was for multiplayer buffed. Who cares? Lockman sub was changed a little bit. I'm not even going to go over all these because a lot of these are like attachment specific.
These are also a lot multiplayer only. The Warzone specific ones are lower.
Supposedly there was an issue with the P90's iron sights not aligning with where your bullet actually goes, and they've fixed that supposedly. So that's good. Yeah, and then a lot of multiplayer specific changes here. So like ISO and Lockman sub. ISO buffed and multi, Lockman sub nerfed and multi. FR Avancer reduced hip spread. Like, why? Is anyone hip firing a fucking FR Avancer fully automatic assault rifle? No. Why did we reduce the hip spread? Why did that need to happen? I don't know. Whatever. Increased damage range in multiplayer. Razorback buffed and multi. M16 buffed and multi. Kastov 74U nerfed in multiplayer. I actually support that change. Reduced damage range. That gun's really fucking good in multiplayer.
That's always been so good.
And if anything needed to be nerfed about it, it should be the damage range, because it's like the SMG hybrid type gun. You would imagine it has less damage range. That would be a drawback for a very mobile gun like that. So I actually support that change. Again, if true, because Infinity Ward does often go on the internet and tell lies. So if they reduce the damage range like they say they did in this blog post, which is not a patch note, then I support it. ISO Hemlock, nerfed and multi, whatever. Battle rifles, I'm not reading. Shotguns, I'm also not reading because they didn't change any of the... Why do I keep forgetting the name of this lately? What's the good one? The fire breath one that I used to use.
Oh my god, I cannot think of the name either.
I can't think of it.
Holy shit, yeah.
Starts with an S, right?
I don't know. It doesn't matter. This is for multiplayer anyways. It doesn't matter whatsoever.
Yeah, that shotgun isn't here. So, and someone in chat needs to say it now because it's pissing me off. Not the Jack is not in MW2, Matt. Come on, man. I loved the Jack 12, but I'm talking about
the Jack 12.
What I used to just run the fucking Vondel
I keep thinking Street
with.
Sweeper because it's basically
I keep thinking Street Sweeper too.
What is it called in this game? I don't know.
Broadside, the KV broadside.
The KV, yeah.
Yes, thank you.
The
yeah,
old KV.
That was not touched, so I don't care about the shotgun changes. That's all I was gonna say. Marksman rifles, again, not reading. LMGs, some were changed for multiplayer, not relevant. Sniper rifles, the Karak 300, the new semi-auto sniper. I am kind of interested what they've done here. They buffed it in multiplayer, and then also for Warzone and multiplayer, increased ADS to hip transition speed, so you un-ADS faster, increased hip movement speed, and increased sprint speed, so it's a little more mobile.
Nice, okay.
Okay. Those are fine. That's not going to make it usable in Warzone, really, but I'll take those, though. The FJX Imperium, also known as the intervention, which is what I said, increased ADS speed, ADS move speed, and a small reduction to its hip spread, because that's what it needed. So that's one of those, one-shot kill snipers, potentially. So increased ADS is good.
Yeah, I wonder if that's an increased ADS of 1 millisecond or 200. It'd be cool if they gave us a number, because, yeah, that means nothing to me whatsoever. So,
yeah,
they're not patch notes.
They're not patch notes. That's a great point. We don't know what increased ADS.
Because that could actually be a big change if this was like 100 milliseconds. I'm sure it's not, but yeah, it means nothing to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Clockwork. We were being sarcastic in that. Anyway, moving on. The Signal and the SPX were also nerfed for multiplayer. So, and then the next section is Warzone only changes. Here's what they say about it. We are generally pleased with weapon diversity and viability in Warzone. For example, the SMG category is very healthy, with a staggering 6 SMGs falling within a 10 percentage point difference in KD ratio at the highest skill levels. Pretty interesting data. Among them, the Vaznev, Vel, and at the top, the P90. While this is great news, we recognize that not all categories are enjoying the same level of competition. This update is focused on introducing further viability into the long-range engagement space. This update also includes a reduction in launcher damage against players. We will be monitoring their performance. So, okay, pretty interesting. That all sounds pretty good. I'm pretty surprised to hear that the Vel at the highest skill level is within a 10 percentage point difference of a Vaznev in KD ratio in Warzone. It's actually really surprising to me. I guess more people are using the Vel than we notice, for whatever reason. And the P90 having the highest, or they could just be wrong or lying. Yeah, that's a good point.
Vel is not good up close.
Because the Vel is not that good. Yeah, it's pretty weird that they say that. Yeah. But anyways, yeah. There are a number of SMGs that get used, which is pretty nice. Let's see what they've done. The Chimera was buffed. The Avancer was buffed. The Hemlock was nerfed. The Lockman 556 was buffed. The M13B was buffed. The M13C was buffed. The M4 was buffed. You guys catching on yet? The STB was buffed. The Tempest Razorback was buffed. There's the AR category. So what did they do? They kind of just buffed all the ARs.
Yeah.
Except for whatever reason, they nerfed
the Hemlock, which was not great.
Yeah.
I mean, the Hemlock was like better than like the Lockman 556 and stuff at range, I guess. But I feel like it could have just gone untouched probably, but I don't know. I haven't looked at the updated numbers when it comes to that one.
Yeah, we got to look more at Sim to kind of get a
it's
grasp on these
close
things.
mid damage and then mid damage decreased. Oh, the range is okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to read you guys the specific changes. If you want to get specific notes on what they changed, just go to Sim and compare ARs now. Because like even if I read these to you and you had a memory to remember them all, I guess, it wouldn't really tell you much. Because when I tell you, like, here's how the FR Avancer was buffed. Close damage increased and far damage increased. Like, there's a reason I'm not reading these details to you, because that doesn't tell you almost anything.
Yeah. Go to sim.gg. You can look at all the guns, all the stats. It shows you everything. Compare them yourself. You can put attachments on or not use attachments. Just the base gun. That's the best way to tell.
And that is something that we will be... Yeah, and that's something that we will be incorporating into an episode pretty soon. I don't know about Saturday, but maybe. But we will go through using Sim a bunch of the long range and SMGs and kind of comparing TTKs and damage ranges and shit like that, and doing another kind of overview of the weapon meta. Because one thing that's been happening pretty often, partially because of how bad the patch notes are actually, is people aren't able to easily discern what is good. And there have been a number of like sleeper guns that are really good that no one uses. And we've like talked about those on episodes.
Yeah.
Where like the HCR, for example, there was a time that was a really good gun and no one was using it because no one really knew. Because people don't bother going to Sim and like looking at charts and shit like we do. So we'll probably do that again at some point, but we don't have those details for you now. We just have the blog post.
Yeah.
So
And the
anyway,
HCR, oddly, I think that's now probably the best long range option.
Interesting.
That and like I think it's back to once again the RPK. So it's like an LMG meta again. Yeah. On paper, those are both really good. Better than most other guns.
So yeah. Anyway, we'll get more into that maybe on Saturday or maybe a little later than that. But you know, as always when they change this many guns at the same time, you kind of want to give it a couple days for the meta to settle as well. Because when the whole community's working on shit, they mostly, for the most part, get it right in terms of like what gun is popular and why. So we'll get more into that as time goes on. The Cronin Squall was gutted in Warzone.
It's
all
dog
launchers.
Shit. Yeah. Dude, it's long range TTK now is like 1150. Long range.
Insane.
I mean, yeah, it's like I think HCR at the longest range was sub 1000, and it's easier to control than the Cronin.
Way easier.
So
yeah, and probably has more of a loss too.
As hell, yeah.
Yeah, F's in the chat for the Cronin Squall.
Again, that's the easiest way for them to balance guns. This gun has been the most used gun for a while now. So instead of making other changes, leaving the time to kill about the same, adding more recoil, making other changes like that, maybe velocity changes or something. What do? Decrease all of the multipliers, head damage, neck damage, upper torso, everything, decrease the fuck out of it, nerf it to the ground so that just no one uses it anymore. That's the typical road they take.
That's the IDub
Infinity
classic.
road, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Raven
the IDub classic is the laziest possible nerfs that the most brainless, lazy nerfs where they just ruin guns. Yeah. So anyway, they did that to the Squall.
There's too many people using this gun. All right, well, let's just nerf the hell out of it so it's like unusable.
Because even if you don't play the game, and Activision devs, of course, don't play their own game, and you don't even have a gaming console because you're in the art department, you make art. You don't play shooter games. Even you know that if you just lower the damage of a gun, it'll make it worse. That's all you need to know. So cool. Because there isn't a dev
gun balance
studio,
is hard though, according to that
teams.
one dev on Twitter, and people shouldn't have input on that because it's really hard to do, and there are thousands of factors that play into it. So yeah.
Anyways, launchers have had their damage against players decreased in Warzone. That's good if true. So anyway, LMGs, the RPK in Warzone was nerfed, although its headshot multi was increased. It was changed, yeah. Close mid damage and close damage range decreased. Actually not really nerfed then. Long range damage stayed the same. All of its multipliers stayed the same, except for its headshot multiplier, which was increased. RPK actually might be pretty busted OP now, particularly on Moz.
It sounds like it's a top 3, yeah.
Yeah. So something to keep in mind there. And then the Seiken was nerfed. Multipliers, 3 of its multipliers were lowered. No one was using the Seiken, that's why they nerfed it. Just keep that in mind.
Seiken was always like right under the top meta guns. Like it was always kind of viable, but you do not see it ever. So it is a little surprising they nerfed it, but yeah. I
haven't seen a custom Seiken since like season 3.
That's what I'm saying. You always hear people talk about it like, Seiken's like a good gun, but I think people just make those videos because they've run out of shorts to make, so they make a video on the Seiken even though they know it's just outside of the meta. That's kind of always how it was.
Yeah. So
HCR untouched, by the way, and it was already a good gun.
Yeah.
It was already just better than all of the ARs, almost as mobile as them. And it didn't get touched.
Yeah, and no recoil.
No recoil, yeah.
And a free attachment slot because it comes with a 60-round mag that reloads quickly.
Yes.
So HCR, very, very attractive option. That's one of the reasons the RPK was so good as an LMG, is you didn't have to touch the mag by default. And the same can be said for the HCR, and the HCR is easier to control than an RPK. So anyway. I do wonder what the headshot multi on an RPK is, though, because that is kind of a big deal if they increase that multi a lot.
Yeah, that's still what's good about the Cronin, is it seems like it's still pretty good when you mix in a headshot, even though they decrease the multiplier. We don't know what that is. You know, last year they would say the multiplier for a headshot was 1.8. We've decreased it to 1.3 or 1.2, and you're like, oh shit, that gutted it. The multiplier for the Cronin could have been like 1.6, and they decreased it to 1.55. We have no clue, so that doesn't tell you anything either.
Yeah, correct.
But when I was looking at Sim, it seems like if you mix in headshots, the Cronin is still good in that way.
Yeah, well, something to keep in mind there. But yeah, like we said, we'll go over what's good more later. They changed the Lockwood. I'm literally not reading it. Shotguns, the Bryson 800 and 890, lower limb damage multipliers increased. Probably still not worth using. And then SMGs, some of these are interesting. The Boss P, which already had the longest first damage range of all SMGs, was buffed. Almost all of its multipliers got increased except for head.
Yeah.
And tummy. Or no, tummy got buffed. Boss P
Again,
looks very attractive.
The thing with that gun always is there seemed to be a lot of horizontal bounce. It was like the SMG version of the M4. Like, pretty good on paper, but it's hard to use with irons, I think. That's the way I've always felt with the Bass P. I don't know. I haven't used it in a long time, but it felt like there was an odd horizontal bounce to it that made it a little hard to use. So it's like, it had that good first damage range, but you're not hitting your shots at that range. You hit way more shots at that range, like an MP7 or something.
Interesting. Yeah, I need to try it again because I don't really remember what its recoil was like. But it got all of its multipliers except its headshot multipliers increased, and it already had a decent TTK from what I remember, and the longest first damage range of all the SMGs, which is a really big deal. So that could be quite fucking good now. I don't really know. Fennec was buffed a little bit, and the Vel limb damage multipliers were increased as well. I don't see any reason to use a Vel over a Bass P right now, though. Because the big selling point of the Vel was it has a very long first damage range. But the Boss P is just more. And a faster TTK. So I don't see a reason to use a Vel. If you want to do that, just use a Boss P instead. And this is what we mean by Infinity Ward can't balance guns. It's like the Vel serves literally no purpose and has no niche. Unless I'm missing something. Because it's like the long first damage range SMG that doesn't have the fastest TTK inside 5 meters. It's like, okay, cool, but the Boss P is just exactly that, but better in every way. So why does the Vel exist?
Could be like damage per mag or something too. Bass P, what's the Bass P's largest mag?
Not as big, not like 60, I don't think.
Yeah.
I think it's 50.
Most people don't use, I don't even think it was 50. I feel like it was like 40 or something. I don't remember, because like I said, I haven't set up a custom one in a long time. The Vel does have the 60 option. Most people just use the 50 anyways, but it does have that option.
Yeah. So anyway, pretty interesting there. Audio.
Don't read it because it doesn't matter.
Yeah, they say they fixed occlusion, but I doubt it. Some more things. Global bug fixes. Okay, here, let's pick one at random. So I'm moving my mouse around. You guys can see my eyes are closed, and I stop moving my mouse. And okay, let me find it. Here it is. Fixed an issue that could cause players to spawn in without a weapon equipped. You know what? If that's happening, that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
So.
And so there is one bug fix worth reading. They put it at the top of the list because they know it's the only bug fix that matters. Fix an issue where meleeing with a throwing knife equipped could down fully armored players in one hit. Don't thank them for this. Don't say good job, because this has been an issue that we know of at least since Season 5 launch. So going on a month now, this could have been hot fixed in 2 days. That's the type of update we used to get, of course, and now it didn't come until the Season Reloaded update because game dev is a psyop. So
correct.
They did fix that. It's good that it's fixed, but I mean, this should have been done.
Fixed.
Yeah.
It's
embarrassing it took this long, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. And then a couple other bug fixes
what do
that
they
don't
do
matter.
all day? Seriously, what do they do all day? They have to just be working like 15 hours a week. There's no way they even put in a full 40. Hey, but Ted's saying he didn't get a day off from fucking Christmas to, what was it, May or something? He hadn't taken a day off. They lie. They get on the internet and they lie to us, all of them.
Yeah, I don't know. But Raven actually did things, so maybe Ted wasn't lying. But Infinity Ward,
he's a creative director, so
work.
he was having a shower thoughts. If you consider that working every night,
Yeah,
then yeah,
good
sure.
point.
Every night when he takes a shower, he's thinking about what bullshit to add to the game.
Yeah, how many other ways he can get himself to respawn when he plays once a year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I died too early. Now I don't know what to do. I can't respawn. Let's add in 30 more mechanics so I can come back to the game.
Mm-hmm.
I have 12 hours on Warzone 2, by the way. Yeah, anything else on the... Yeah, no, I've looked through these bug fixes. Again, not kidding. I haven't heard of any of these bugs.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of them don't matter. Like, the challenge for where you have to be focused and get a kill with a sniper isn't tracking in Warzone, so we fixed that. Cool. There's still fake loadout drop icons, by the way, still on my map. Season 5 Reloaded. Like a game-breaking bug. Almost still in the game. So
yeah, I've seen top Warzone ranked players streaming get baited by that. They start landing on something, they realize there's not a loadout there. I've seen a top 250 players do that because it happens every single match of Warzone 2 on Al Mazrah. Every single match, there is a UI bug with the loadout icon. I cannot stress that enough. It is every single match, and it doesn't get fixed. It goes unfixed. It baits everybody.
Yeah. So it's super cool and fun and exciting. But anyway, let's move on. That's it for Warzone. So now on to multiplayer. We got a new map called DRC Zone 1. This is probably a subsection of that Building 21 area. Yes, it is. It's the visitor center. Haven't played this. Didn't know it got added, to be honest. I would have tried it when I was unlocking those new guns. But I didn't know it was in the game because the UI is terrible. So, I don't know. It's another
looks pretty from
map.
the screenshot, but yeah.
Looks cool, but yeah, we have nothing to really say about it. A couple new modes, gunfight snipers. That sounds fun. That sounds fun for customs, especially.
It does.
4v4 face-off. Yeah, we've already talked about that.
More bug fixes. I'm excited.
Bug fixes. Okay, yeah, let's roll the dice here. My eyes are closed. Mouse has been stopped. Here we are. Fix the number of floating assets across a number of multiplayer maps. Got it.
Oh, that's good.
Got it.
True.
To be fair, I don't know what bugs are really in multiplayer. It doesn't seem very buggy to me when I play it. Seems like it works pretty much fine. So, maybe they're now at the point where they can fix bugs that don't matter like this, but fix bugs that matter in Warzone too. Thanks. So anyway, moving on. MW2 ranked play, season 5 reminders. Here we get into something written by Treyarch clearly and obviously because there are numbers on my screen. And that means details, and that means it wasn't written by Infinity Ward, but it's no new information there.
Yeah, it's all the same stuff they tell us. Stop giving us the ranked play info. They just copy and paste it every blog post they put out.
Yeah,
I've read this 4 times. They do it to make the blog post look longer, because look how long this section is. It's as long as the fucking weapon balancing.
Yeah.
So, it's nothing matters. It's just saying it's carry forward, so whatever charms and decals you get from ranked play, it's carry forward to MW3.
Yeah. Yep. So, anyways, moving on. Also, following the catastrophic events of Shadow Siege and Al Mazrah, Zaya Observatory has been destroyed. So when we were playing DMZ in preparation for our DMZ bonus Patreon episode, patreon.com/thedropshot, we did in fact visit Observatory, and it does look different. I wouldn't go so far as to say it was destroyed. There are still buildings you can go into and shit, but it's different. It's not very meaningfully different, I don't think. It kind of is, sort of. I don't know. It's a map change. It's a good little map change. It's just that for these little map changes to matter, they need to happen like every, or like twice a season, really.
Yeah, it's an interesting map change.
Really fresh and cool. But yeah, like... yeah. Go ahead.
What other map changes have we gotten? I'm trying to think. We got Afghan.
The train.
We got Afghan. We got the storm that rolled through city.
Oh
which
yeah, the sandstorm
was not a good map change at all.
They said that was gonna roll through the map. Did they just abandon that idea?
I think it did in DMZ. At the time, it was doing something different in DMZ. Like more areas of the map were covered with it. I don't know. I'm glad they didn't because it created like the storm.
Yeah, I'm thrilled about it. To be clear, yeah.
But yeah, so the changes to Observatory, it's the biggest change we've seen to Al Mazrah yet. But like what I was saying yesterday, for me, it's not much of a change personally because I don't really go Observatory, which, you know, isn't their fault. But then also, like, circles don't really end Observatory anymore. I don't know if you guys noticed that or not, but it used to be for, like, the first 2 months of Warzone, every single match ended there. Now, like, seriously, none of them do. It's, like, such a low chance for them to end anywhere near it. So it's like, I don't ever land there because I don't like the POI. The circle doesn't rotate there, so I just don't go there. So good map change. I'm glad they're doing changes like this, but it like doesn't affect the way we play at all, really. But it's big for like a lot of the super sweats that land there. It totally changed the POI. There's actually some little underground aspects and stuff now to it. It seemed from what I was looking at.
Yeah, that's fair. So anyway, that happened. Moving on. The playlist update. So spoiler alert, Al Bagra Fortress, the new BR map. The only thing we've been excited for with season 5 is still not in the fucking game. Which really makes me blood red mad and furious. But we will be getting it
next week, which is
next week.
Thursday.
Yes,
we get
the
it?
6th.
Wednesday. Yeah.
Yes, Wednesday. So that'll be cool, and that's going to be actual new content I care about and am excited to try out. That will be the first of that thing, that type of thing, something I'm excited for and is new content, since Season 5 launched. So that'll be good, but, you know, I wish we would have gotten an interesting gun or interesting weapon balance in the meantime, or something. But frankly, MW2 is just the MW3 waiting room now. That's kind of always true by this point in a COD cycle, but it's especially true for MW2 and Warzone 2, I would say. I think almost all of my enthusiasm relating to COD is looking toward MW3 and its integration into Warzone 2 as well. Yeah. I'm still very, very cautiously excited about that. But in terms of things I'm excited for before that, Al Bagra Fortress is one thing. That might be the last thing I get excited about with MW2, because I don't think we're going to get another new map for Resurgence before MW3 comes out. No. And we're not going to get a new big map BR before MW3 comes out, probably. So
yeah, it's the new map and maybe a cool Halloween event like we were talking about in the pre-show. Correct. I think that's when we were talking about it. But yeah, you are right. That the Halloween events are fun, nice little change of pace, but it's like you play for a few hours and you're like, all right, well, that's enough for the playlist, the LTM. But we are, 5 weeks from today. We are 5 weeks away from COD next, so that'll be exciting at least.
Yeah, that'll be good. I'm very much looking forward to getting more
5
info.
weeks, so then basically 6 weeks till we get our hands on the beta for the first time.
Yes, correct. And again, I am quite excited to see how Fortress plays. I hope it plays better than it kind of looks like it will, but we'll see. So anyway, other than that, that is it for Season 5 Reloaded, pretty much. I mean, we're getting Armored Royale, which is the fucking car mode. The MRAP shit. And then we're getting unhinged solos as well. This is assimilation solos.
Jesus Christ.
Got it.
So
up to
it's
6
solos
players
and
per
you
squad.
can assimilate to up to 6.
Imagine you're playing solos and 6 people roll up on you. What is this, man? It's unhinged. Funny. I mean,
it's
they
unhinged.
titled it right.
Yeah, they're not lying about that. Yeah, so by the way, just so we're clear, it sounds like Fortress is just copy and pasted. It makes it sound like there are no changes from BR Al Mazrah. Because they say, experience resurgence within the boundaries of the Albagra Fortress, point of interest, and Al Mazrah, and the immediate surroundings. I don't think it's going to be any different than it is in BR, which is worrying because, like I've said, that is a dog shit POI. So some of the screenshots kind of look like things are laid out differently, but it's hard to tell because I don't go there a lot. They take screenshots from weird angles sometimes. But I was looking at one of them, and I'm like, that doesn't look like how the buildings are laid out on the large map, so we'll see.
Yeah,
it's a new map at least, nothing else.
Yeah, it's a new map, something else in the little rotation. So I find it hard to believe there's going to be any area of Fortress that's worse than Castle on Ashika. So I think it'll at least be decent, but we'll see. And we'll do a lot of content, by the way, a lot of episodes on Fortress. We have we'll probably do a brainstorm or two, an impressions episode, of course, tips episode as well, where to drop shit like that. But it's going to feel more like Ashika than Vondel because it's not as big as Vondel, not even close. So that's another thing to keep in mind. But anyway, holy shit. I wonder if this is true. I've been waiting more than a year for this because they broke parachute audio in Warzone 1 and they never fixed it again. And now they're saying something. Adjusted audio mix for parachutes, including increasing the volume of incoming enemy parachutes. They were fine once upon a time in Warzone 1. They randomly removed the audio for no reason, and they never looked back until today, I guess. I would love if I could hear enemy parachutes again. I don't know if it's true. Again, this is an Infinity Ward blog post. This could be a lie. But this was needed for so goddamn long. So if true, this is the best part of the entire season, actually.
Yeah.
Is I can fucking hear enemy parachutes now. That would be splendid. I would love that.
Yeah,
man.
They removed parachute audio when they added the balloons into Caldera. That was when they removed it.
Yeah, it was the perfect time. Right when parachute audio was going to be the most relevant, when everyone was going to be ballooning all over the map, they just removed the audio. So that was cool. Yeah, you're right. That's exactly when it happened. Great point. So anyway, Warzone matchmaking improvements, reduce the time it takes to get a match or to start once people are in the pregame lobby.
That's good because it would sit there for
and then
honestly like a minute or two.
Yeah.
Well, the lobby was almost full and then start the minute countdown. Yeah. Whereas like Resurgence and other modes, it starts the countdown as it's still filling up the lobby. So sometimes you'll load into a match finally and like you're already in the plane about to drop in and there's like a 5-second timer left because you were just like late filling in. So that's good.
Yeah.
Because it takes a lot of downtime in ranked play at times.
Yeah. So, they remind us that the RPG and the Strela cannot be equipped on a loadout, but they are still in the ground loot pool.
Yeah. So are they or not?
Probably.
Because they said they were going to remove them in a future update. Has anyone played rank? Can anyone confirm if they're in ground loot or not?
This is a future update, but it's not the future.
Yeah,
update,
and they said that 2 weeks ago whenever they removed them.
Yeah.
They have to be removed, right? They have to be. They just have to be.
Maybe. Yeah. They don't mention it. So, classic Infinity Ward. Did they remove it or not? We don't know. They didn't say. So anyway. And then more Season 5 reminders, so we're not going over this. This is all rehashes. They copy and paste the same thing they wrote, like, 3 scroll wheels up, by the way. Oh, wait, no, that
was from multiplayer, but it's the same thing, basically.
But it is the same thing, yeah.
Ooh, bug fixes.
And then another list of bug fixes. Let's see. Closing my eyes, moving my mouse, stopped it. Okay, let's see. The first one. Fixed an issue causing the amount of ammo picked up to display incorrectly.
Huh, that's important if it was true.
If that was a problem, that's
not
good.
Not sure how you'd even really know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
So one thing on here I see, fix an issue causing the mortar strike icon to appear on the TAC map incorrectly. So I have a question. Do you think they finally fixed the mortar icon being permanently on the map just north of Observatory, between Observatory and Hydro, that has been there since Call of Duty Next? And I'm not exaggerating. There has been a permanent mortar strike icon on the map there. I wonder if they fixed that finally. Wow.
That's hilarious.
Huge update. W update. Massive.
Probably not, honestly.
Probably not. Yeah, it's probably a different.
Yeah.
It is there every match in the same spot. And
I did not
literally
know that.
not
That's
kidding.
hilarious.
It's been there since the Warzone 2 launch. I feel like it was in the COD Next videos too. I'm not kidding.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. No other relevant bug fixes really though. Yeah. That's it. And then DMZ. Go listen to our last Patreon episode on DMZ. I'm never reading DMZ again. And that's it. That is all.
Yeah, I was looking at these other bug fixes. I was reading something trying to fix an issue preventing players from leaving the match during exfil after finishing. Oh, okay, never mind. I was thinking it maybe was something to do with the Alt F4 bug, but no. So the one bug that has been plaguing high-skilled rank lobbies, the Alt F4 bug, was not fixed in the Season 5 Reloaded update. So that means it won't be fixed until at the earliest Season 6, or probably just never. It's probably something they don't know how to fix. So
yeah, cool. Yeah, and that's it.
Oh my god! See, look at this. They only fix bugs in DMZ. Look at this list. This list of DMZ massive. Bug fixes is the same length as all the other bug fixes combined. Multiplayer, global, Modern Warfare 2 ranked play, and Warzone ranked play. That bug list totals the amount that we see in DMZ because that's what the devs play. So that's where they find bugs. Yeah. So DMZ is probably perfect when it comes to bugs. There are none because they find them because that's all we play.
We unironically did not experience a single bug in DMZ in the 90 minutes we played. Can't play Warzone for 90 minutes without experiencing a bug.
Yeah.
Interesting. So anyway, yeah. So that's it for Season 5 Reloaded patch notes blog post. Season 5 Reloaded blog post that they titled patch notes. It's not patch notes though. If this all sounds like negative and you're getting kind of annoyed that we're being like negative Nancy's and pessimistic, look, sorry, but we're not going to just get on the internet and tell lies like Infinity Ward. If the update isn't good, we're not going to just lie to you. You know, we're not Iceman Isaac. We're not trying to suck anyone off to get a COD Next invite. It's never going to happen. And if it did, it would be a security risk for Activision Incorporated. So, you know,
you're on their terrorist watch list, probably.
Look, if you want to tell us to be more positive or whatever, tell Activision to do something for us to be positive about.
We were the complete opposite like 2 months ago.
Yeah, exactly. We have never and will never just pretend something is good or an update is good when it's not. And we always give credit where credit is due. I think we are very fair when they make good bug fixes or good changes or good updates or good portions of updates. We always give the credit when it is due. But sometimes there are Season 5s, I guess, where there is very little credit to be given, frankly. If they fixed parachute audio, good. But, I mean, not enough, right? None of this excites me, is the problem. The only thing that sort of excites me is Fortress Resurgence. But even that, it's like, man, MW3 is coming kind of soon. I'm in my 30s. I can wait. You know what I mean? I can wait. And I feel like a lot of you probably feel the same way. So, to the degree that we can, we are going to be focusing as much as possible on MW3 and all of the news coming out about that game, because that's what we're all really waiting for. Everything else, every other good potential update to MW2 and Warzone 2 in the meantime is kind of just an extra appetizer, another hors d'oeuvre to hold us over until MW3 comes out, the main course. That's what we're all looking forward to. Let's not fucking kid ourselves. And we're not going to sit here and jerk each other off pretending that we're excited about something we're not excited about. Sorry. So like, look, I get it. A lot of people always get mad at us. This happens every year that we're too negative or whatever. But hey, there are times where we're very positive and there are times when we're not. And it's contingent on the climate, the Call of Duty climate at the time. And right now it's dark.
Yeah.
It's dark and raining.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know what to tell you. But anyway, yeah, yep. Season 5 Reloaded W update. It was 55 gigabytes and nothing changed somehow. Amazing. That's my That's my
we
statement.
preloaded the map. That's all we did.
That's it. Yeah.
A small map which is already inside of a big map, which was a 60 gig download. Yeah, pretty cool stuff.
Super cool.
But yeah, anyways, let me hit these. We got a few super chats here. Let me hit these real quick before we get into the last couple things. Walt, thank you very much for the $5. He says, has iDub just given up? Yeah, they've for sure given up. Walt, appreciate
Months
that.
ago.
Tinhead, $10. I adjusted all the new weapon challenges for the new SMG, and I don't know if it's worth it, at least in multiplayer. Yeah, probably not.
It's definitely not worth it in multi.
Tinhead.
I've used it at max level. It's dog shit.
Okay.
Don't use it.
Yeah. Tinhead, $10. Thank you very much. Appreciate that, King.
Thank you, dude.
And Stibic with also $10. Thanks for doing what you do. Been a regular part of my weekly routine for going on over a year now. Appreciate the content. Let's go. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
$10.
brother.
Thank you, boys, for the super chats. We appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you, gentlemen. Much appreciated.
But yeah, getting into a few more things. As we already mentioned, Kimbo isn't unlocking on the 9mm Damon. So they're investigating that. That has not been fixed yet. We're going to go out of order before I put this real quick. We'll do the AI thing last. There's been leaks for what the Season 6 weapons are. The Bruin LMG is coming back.
Oh,
so
no.
cool. So we get an LMG, the ISO 9, which is the ISO from Modern Warfare 2019, which is the little 9mm ISO that has like a small mag, if I remember correctly, and wasn't good. That's coming. And a dual pickaxes or something.
They're commas. They're like fucking... If you did karate as a kid, you know what these are. They're called commas. They're farming tools that Okinawans would use to fucking chop wheat.
Yeah. So
cool.
Great, we get an LMG. I hate LMG metas. The SMG probably next season will also be bad. It'll probably be held back by a small mag. And we get another melee weapon. So Season 6 shaping up to be more the same. And then another leak here from Task Force Leakers. During the Halloween event this year, the train will be replaced with a hell train. There is other stuff out there too. I didn't put it in here, but there are like a bunch of leaked operators already. I guess a couple of them are from like famous or pretty well-known like Halloween horror films, movies, but I haven't heard of any of them. So it's no one like Michael Myers big. It's some other people that I guess some people are excited for, but they're not like household names, and it seemed like so. There are more of those operators coming, and the Halloween event for sure will be coming this year. Yeah. Unfortunately, by the time we get that, it's like, the new game's almost here.
I'll be installing MW 3.
When does MW 3 launch again? We need to get that timer going next week.
Yeah, I think it's November 5th.
That's what I'm thinking. No, the 10th. Yeah, the 10th, November 10th. Okay. So yeah, that's like 10 days before. So that's like the last hoorah, done playing Warzone until multiplayer comes out. After that, of course, it's the last little time to have fun. So cool.
Yeah, the Halloween event could be cool. That's of all the events they've ever done, the Halloween one they did once was the best. So hopefully they can do it again.
OG Verdansk one was great. Yeah. So moving on. This is the final thing we're going to talk about. It is a new AI technology in Warzone. So I don't know where they posted this. I saw it from Charlie Intel. I was wondering if it was going to be in that blog post. It wasn't. So I don't know where Call of Duty posted this. I have no idea. Like, judging from this font, you know what it looks like? It looks like when they do their shareholder meetings. That uses this exact same font, and it's laid out like that. So I don't even know if they publicly posted this. But anyway, I'm going to read this. So Call of Duty is taking the next leap forward in its commitment to combat toxic and disruptive behavior with in-game voice chat moderation, beginning with the launch of Modern Warfare 3 this November 10th. Oh, okay, so it's not even started yet. Activision will team up with Modulate to deliver global real-time voice chat moderation at scale, starting with this fall's upcoming Call of Duty blockbuster. Don't say that. The new voice chat moderation system uses some AI-powered voice chat technology to identify in real time and enforce against toxic speech, including hate speech, discriminatory language, harassment, and more. This new development will bolster the ongoing moderation system led by the Call of Duty anti-toxicity team, which includes text-based filtering across 14 languages for in-game chat. By the way, someone in my match like a month ago in ranked play had the name that was like Hail Hitler or something like that. So it doesn't work. Remember, what was that guy's name? It was something with Hitler in it, and we were like, holy shit.
I don't know.
It was like, how does this get past
It's
crazy.
They can't use AI to do text, but they can do it for voice. Got it.
as well as a robust in-game player reporting system. So the initial beta rollout of voice chat moderation will begin in North America on August 30th, so it's live, I guess, inside of Modern Warfare 2, Warzone, and then will be followed by a worldwide release on November 10th for MW3. So if you're in North America right now, this is already live. Support will begin in English with additional languages to follow at a later date. Since the launch of MW2, Call of Duty's existing anti-toxicity moderation has restricted voice and or text chat to over 1 million accounts detected to have violated the code of conduct. By the way, I guarantee the majority of those were incorrectly banned. You and me both, early on in Warzone 2, were restricted from using voice chat when, I'm not exaggerating, neither of us had ever typed or used our microphone at all. Like, Correct. This was in like week 1, so this has been happening to everyone. So of the 1 million accounts detected, I'm not kidding, 950,000 of those are probably false bans.
Actually,
like, it's so
it was
buggy.
Very weird. It was so common.
Yeah. Like there have been some people still, like big streamers that stream 8 hours a day. You obviously know if they're going to be saying toxic shit. Some of these people have been like voice chat banned for literally months. So it doesn't work. So don't say you banned over 1 million accounts detected to violate your conduct. Your system doesn't work. So moving on, they say, how does Call of Duty's voice chat moderation work? So voice chat moderation is managed and operated by Activision and uses AI-powered model from Modulate. This system is integrated into select COD titles and is managed by Activision. Voice chat is monitored and recorded for the express purpose of moderation.
That is crazy.
COD's voice chat moderation system is focused on detecting harm within voice chat versus specific keywords. Oh, okay. Violations of the Call of Duty Code of Conduct are subject to account enforcement. Does the enforcement happen in real time? It does. Detection happens in real time with the system categorizing and flagging toxic language based on the Call of Duty Code of Combat as detected. I can't wait for people to test some of this, by the way. Someone will come out with some video testing this system, because there will be some oversights that I'm not going to talk about. Detected violations of the Code of Conduct may require additional reviews of associated recordings to identify context before enforcement is determined. Actions will not be taken instantaneous. As the system grows, it will evolve. And they say, does this system ban trash talk from Call of Duty? So they say this helps enforce the existing code of conduct, which allows for, they say, quote, trash talk and friendly banter, hate speech, discrimination, sexism, and other types of harmful language as outlined in the code of conduct will not be tolerated. And then that's pretty much it. Only submits reports about toxic behavior categories.
So the AI doesn't do the bans itself. The AI just flags your account, and then like a human being will look at it.
Yeah.
Or listen to it, actually. That's why I record.
And they'll have more employees on this than the Infinity Ward development team has.
This is what the development team has been doing. Yeah. They've been listening to hate speech, and they've been running little quizzes in office. Like, all right, is this trash talk, or is this against our code of conduct? That's what they've been doing there 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
So
there were a few questions I had going into this. I actually hadn't read this prior, so this answers most of it, because I was like, is it just going to flag keywords? That's what I was thinking, but it identifies when you're saying something actually offensive to someone. So that makes more sense.
AI could do that really well.
Yeah, it can do that really well. And
in theory, not AI by Activision. This won't work well, but in theory, AI could do it well. Yeah.
Yeah. I had another thought. I lost it. The other thing I heard was some people were asking, I think Charlie Intel had answered. They were like, so is this just like always going to record us? And he said it only will record, when you press on your microphone to record. It's not just always going to be on when your microphone's there. That is, of course, a lie. They will send all of it to the government, and your house will be raided by the FBI, ATF, anyone soon, local police. If you trash talk someone in games. So, if this works correctly, I guess it's cool. It's just a lot of things like this do not end up working, and in fact, they lead to
a bunch of extra false bans. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that really. I can see people. I just wonder how strict the enforcement will be. Like, if I get on there and I say the most hateful thing to some guy, I'm racist, I'm sexist, everything I possibly do, is my account getting permabanned? You know, because if they're like permabanning people for that shit, there will be a lot of false bans for people that have never actually used their mic, but something goes wrong with the system. Or is it just like voice ban,
like a VoIP ban
for a week, or is it just like a 1 week ban on your Battle.net account? That's what I wonder.
Yeah, it's a lot of good questions. I think you kind of hit the nail on the head earlier. Like, so first of all, if you're like some fucking libertarian and you're like, oh, I don't want them recording my voice or whatever, it's against my rights. Like, I've seen some people, I don't know if it was in Discord or on Twitter, but you're insane if you think that this is like a violation of your First Amendment right or something, or like there could be a lawsuit here. No, there couldn't. Shut up. You're
playing fair game
in the terms of service. What do you do?
And they've updated that when you launch the game now. It comes up and you have to hit agree to it.
Yeah, you're a fucking idiot if you think you have a lawsuit on your hands here, first of all. And this is not some huge infringement on your fucking freedom of speech. Relax. You're using private property, so they're allowed to do whatever they want. You agree to it, get fucked. But again, I think you nail it on the head. Why don't they start by using AI to like filter out toxic names? Because those are just text and it's one phrase. So if it's like Hail Hitler 666, but they use leet speak to get around your profanity filter, why don't you use AI to clean all that shit up? They can't even do that, but they're going to use AI to listen and ban people for voice chat, which is way more sophisticated and complicated to enforce. I just have no faith it's going to work well. It's either going to overban or underban drastically, but it's not going to be good. But I will say, if it did work as intended, I think this is cool.
Yeah, if it works as intended, it's fine. It is super cringe
when you're loading into a lobby and some guy's just saying, you know, bad words. N-word. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like clipping his mic max compression.
Yeah.
Like just spamming it into his mic. That shit is cringe. And I would love if AI could just get rid of that shit, no doubt. But I don't think it's going to work very well. So
yeah, I played with this one kid, randoms, on Vondel a couple months back. And every time he didn't ever talk. Again, I was playing with randoms. It was random queue. I don't know this person. We were playing like quads. Every time he would get down to someone, he wouldn't ever come to us. He would put his microphone in the back of his throat and say, stupid N-word, stupid N-word. And he would say it like 3 times every time he died. I'm like, holy shit. And you can tell from the sound of his voice, it's like a 16-year-old white kid. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, man. Yeah. So, you know, that stuff, hopefully they take action on. But yeah, like there are certain things you should be able to say that I hope they don't get rid of. Like, yeah, if I down some 6-stack in DMZ, I want to say, holy shit, you guys are fucking dog shit, you dumb pussies, you stupid fucking pussies. Is that going to get me flagged? Because that sucks. That's trash talking, man.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know if that's a code of conduct violation, but I don't think it is.
Dude, if someone says that to us after they wipe us in DMZ, we are hysterically laughing. That would make us so happy. You know, so it's like I hope people don't get banned for that type of stuff, but you know, racist stuff, the sexist stuff, yeah, they should get in trouble for it for sure.
The line is so obvious.
It's pretty simple. Yeah, you can call someone a stupid pussy. The line is obvious to like
us, but will it be obvious to AI? That's a very separate question. Yeah, exactly. So ultimately, though, I don't really care.
Yeah.
The only way. I don't have strong feelings about this. The only way I would have strong feelings is if the enforcement included account banning. So if my account gets banned because I said you're fucking dog shit trash and teabagged and body shot someone in DMZ, that would make me irate.
Yeah.
Apoplectic. I would not be able to contain myself how mad that would make me. But I very strongly doubt it would come to that. And therefore, I just don't really care one way or another, honestly.
By the way, every online video game will have this within the next 3 years. I remember, I just Googled it because I'm like, I think Valorant did this. Valorant just began their global rollout of real-time text evaluation and intervention system in July, I guess, which mutes players in voice and text chat. This is in real time. They mute players who send disruptive messages in game.
That's
So
crazy.
yeah, this will be a total normal thing to have in all online video games soon.
And then the new way to grief people is going to be by being like unctuous. Like, oh, you're really like, you kill some kid 3 times in a row and you say like, hey, some kid 72, you're really good at this game, smiley face.
Yeah.
That's going to be the new way to be toxic.
Congrats on your first win, man. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you can't ban me for that. AI, fuck you. Yeah.
Yeah, just everyone start being like super like nice, passive aggressive.
Yeah. And AI will never be able to ban that because you can't separate. It's not going to be able to like get the context and do it.
Shit on some kid that's down. It's like, yo, good try, man. You really try there, as you're teabagging him in game.
And then a winky
having
face.
a knife to his face. Yeah. Oh, great try, man. You tried. You did your best, buddy. And then shoot his body. Yeah. That'll be the strat. I'm fine with that strat. That sounds good to me.
Or where if you like are in a gunfight and you take no damage because the person like misses all their shots and you kill them, and you say like, oh man, kid 72, super close gunfight, super close, good job, you almost got me, even though they did no damage to you. Yeah, there's going to be ways to be toxic no matter what. That's another thing too that I feel like these big companies lose sight of. You're never there isn't an AI strong enough to get rid of toxicity. There's always going to be a way to get around it. But that would be better than people putting microphones inside of their mouths and spamming the N-word in voice. Yeah, that would be better. So I'm still supportive of this if it works. But anyway, that's it. We're done. Patreon.com/thedropshot. Saturday, season 5 reloaded, first impressions for whatever that's fucking worth. And then next week we will have Resurgence, the new Resurgence map. So we'll actually have new meaningful content to talk about for the first time in a while with MW2. So next week's content in particular, expect some fun episodes coming out of that. And then again, Saturday, we'll do our first impressions. We do have a couple things to say, and we'll probably have more by then. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. See you Saturday. Stay humble.
Stay humble.